It all started with one photo. One romantic post from Tayiana Taylor that was meant to shut down all the whispers, all the rumors, and finally confirm to the world that what she had with Aaron Pierre was something real. In the picture, Tayiana was nestled into Aaron's chest, both of them bathed in soft golden light. Her caption reading something short but strong: "Peace feels like this." The internet was instantly captivated. Fans flooded the comments with heart emojis, affirmations, and praise. They were thrilled to see Tayiana finally appearing happy again, especially after everything that went down with Iman. But before the love could fully soak in, a storm rolled in from an unexpected direction, and it wasn't subtle. A now-deleted comment popped up on a gossip page that had reposted Tayiana's image. It read, "It's giving fake AF." The profile wasn't verified, the name wasn't famous, but internet detectives are always faster than you think. Within hours, people were connecting the dots, pulling up old images and comparing captions. And just like that, the internet was buzzing. The account belonged to none other than Aaron's ex-girlfriend. The timing couldn't have been worse. Tayiana had just poured her heart out online, and suddenly there was this cloud of doubt looming over everything. It wasn't just the comment that hurt, it was what it suggested. Was this whole thing a show? Was Aaron really in love, or just putting on a front? Aaron's ex wasn't exactly a household name, but she had a presence. From old modeling photos to stylish shots from events in LA, she had clearly been a part of Aaron's past life before he started getting Hollywood recognition. Rumors say they were together for years back when he was still doing theater and indie films. People close to them even say she was the one who believed in his talent before the world did. So when she dropped that bomb of a comment, it wasn't random. It carried weight. It sounded personal. It sounded like betrayal. Soon, screenshots of her previous posts started popping up online. There was a particular story from months back where she wrote, "People don't change, they just perform better." At the time, it didn't raise eyebrows. But now, everyone was reading it through a new lens. Fans speculated she might have seen Tayiana and Aaron's relationship brewing long before it went public. Maybe she even suspected overlap. And that made things so much messier. Within a day, gossip blogs had picked it up. One post had side-by-side pictures, Aaron with his ex, looking cozy at a film festival years ago, and then the new photo with Tayiana. The caption read, "From ride or die to red carpet rebound?" It was brutal, but it got people talking. People weren't just questioning Aaron. They started doubting Tayiana, too. Not because they thought she was lying, but because they feared she might be caught in something she didn't see coming. The internet began dissecting every public moment between them. Fans pulled up old videos from interviews where Tayiana smiled brightly while Aaron sat beside her with a more muted expression. They started noticing how she always seemed more open, more affectionate. One tweet said, "She posts him with her whole chest. He just shows up with neutral energy." Another read, "You can feel when one person is more into it than the other." This ain't it. Amid the chaos, Tayiana remained quiet, but not entirely. She didn't address the comment directly, but she posted a story later that night with white text on a black screen that read, "Not everything fake needs to be explained. Sometimes it's just misunderstood by the bitter." The post didn't tag anyone, but everyone knew what she was talking about. Supporters flooded her DMs, reminding her she didn't need to justify her happiness. Still, some fans were left wondering, was she defending herself, or was she already starting to question things too? Meanwhile, Aaron? Completely silent. No post. No story. No statement. Nothing. And that silence didn't help. It made things worse. If he had said something, anything, it might have settled the storm. But instead, it just looked like avoidance. Or worse, guilt. And right then, his ex struck again. This time, not with a comment, but a meme. She posted an Instagram story that said, "If he moved on that fast, he never loved you that deep." Under it was a photo of her smirking in a mirror selfie, phone held high, confidence radiating through the screen. She didn't mention Aaron by name. She didn't need to. The fans connected the dots instantly, and they were eating it up. The whispers got louder. Was Teyana a rebound? Was Aaron using her new public relationship to pivot into the spotlight? After all, his career was on the rise. He had landed major roles. He was being talked about in Hollywood circles that never used to know his name. Being tied to someone like Tayiana? That wasn't just a relationship, it was exposure. Fans began voicing their fears. "I don't want to believe he's clout chasing," one said. But the signs are there. He's too quiet, too polished. It feels staged. Even bloggers who usually stayed neutral were starting to ask questions. A well-known entertainment YouTuber posted, "I love Tayiana, and she deserves real love." But the energy from Aaron? It's giving press run, not passion. Suddenly, what was supposed to be a celebration of love turned into a swirling storm of speculation. Every moment between them was under a microscope. Every silence was suspicious. Every glance was analyzed. And through it all, Tayiana kept posting photos from behind the scenes, smiling with her team, holding her daughter close. But Aaron was rarely in them. And people noticed. Then came the interview clip that reignited the entire conversation. A Resurfaced podcast episode began circulating online, an old interview where Aaron was asked whether he believed in showing love publicly. His response was calm, but now felt loaded. Private is peace. When everyone knows your business, they also feel entitled to comment on it. At the time, it probably seemed like a harmless, even wise take. The clip had likely been recorded before he and Tayiana ever entered each other's orbit. But context is everything, and now it hit completely differently. The internet didn't hold back. Fans instantly picked the quote apart, asking, "If private is peace, why did you let her post you on her page? Why did you walk red carpets with her? Why let the world believe this was love, only to vanish when real life hit?" For many, it felt like Aaron wanted the aesthetic of romance, the curated image, without the accountability that comes when feelings, lives, and futures are involved. As the pressure built and commentary grew louder, everyone waited for Tayiana to break her silence. A statement, an interview, something. But what she gave instead was something softer and far more powerful. She posted a photo of herself standing in front of a mirror. No makeup, natural light, just her. Vulnerable, honest. The caption read, "I know what love feels like. I've lived it. I've lost it. I won't settle for less than the truth." It wasn't a drag, a subtweet, or a PR-crafted response. It was a raw, deeply human moment, and it landed hard. For the first time in weeks, the focus shifted from the drama to the woman at the center of it. People began reflecting not just on what had happened, but how it must have felt for her. Tayiana had already lived through public heartbreak, with Iman, with the media, and with the world watching her every move. She had built herself back up, step by step. And now she was facing another emotional storm, different man, same silence. It felt eerily familiar. Like history wasn't just repeating itself, it was testing her. But instead of breaking, she chose truth. And truth, this time, was enough. But Tayiana wasn't the same woman she used to be. This time, she wasn't coming from a place of heartbreak, confusion, or naivete. She had evolved. She had lived through enough to recognize red flags without needing to wait for full confirmation. Yes, she carried scars, but those scars had shaped her into someone wiser, more grounded, and far less willing to tolerate chaos disguised as love. And that growth started revealing itself in quiet, intentional ways. She unfollowed 2 popular celebrity gossip blogs, both of which had been relentlessly reposting shady captions and cryptic stories from Aaron's ex. It wasn't loud, but fans noticed. Then came a subtle but powerful digital moment. Tayiana liked a tweet that read, "Peace is leaving the table when love is no longer being served." Within hours, she deactivated her account. No explanation. Just a quiet retreat that said more than words ever could. At this point, her fan base was divided. Some still rooted for her and Aaron, holding on to the hope that what they had was real, that all couples face outside pressure, jealous exes, and misunderstandings. They believed love could survive noise. But others weren't convinced. They saw Aaron as someone who brought more confusion than clarity, more shadows than light. And then there were the watchers, the ones who weren't picking sides but couldn't look away, waiting for the next twist in the ever-unfolding story. It didn't take long. Was the relationship with Teyana built on shaky ground from the start? Was Aaron emotionally unavailable the entire time? Or was this just another manipulation tactic from someone trying to insert themselves into Teyana's narrative? Now fans weren't just questioning the love, they were wondering if Teyana knew any of this. If she had seen the signs. If she was choosing to love anyway, or if she had already begun pulling back without saying it out loud. One thing was clear though, this story was far from over.